Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time once again for your weekly wrap-up, and unfortunately we have another edition of Brands Behaving Badly, where we expose some of the corruption that's afoot within the influencer marketing industry, and I've got another crazy contract to show you. Let's get to it. Now, I do these videos because I want you to see what goes on behind the scenes when somebody does a paid piece of content. Unfortunately, people in the influencer industry are not properly disclosing their relationships. It's getting better out there, but it's still not where it needs to be. And these short-form platforms like TikTok make it worse in many cases. Now, today we're not going to be redacting the name of the agency. I've had enough of what's been going on in the industry now that I think it's time to start exposing these agencies. I am redacting the person I interacted with and also the brand because I cannot confirm yet that the brand ordered the agency to behave this way. Now, this started like all of the other pitches start with me here, which is that somebody writes to me and says, hey, I'd like you to review this product and we're willing to pay you to do it. As I've talked about many times here on the channel, I do not do paid reviews. I do take sponsorships from time to time. We've seen those videos pop up, but they are a very delineated piece of content versus an editorial review. Now, if you're curious as to what guidelines I follow, you can go to my disclosure page that you can see linked here on screen. I set this up a number of years ago so viewers understand where I'm coming from. One of the challenges of being a small channel is that I don't have a sales department that can do all of the sponsorship stuff for me and keep me out of it. So I have to be the salesperson, but also the journalist. And this page, I think, can help you understand how I approach that. But the bottom line is, I don't believe in paid content being called a review, and therefore I do not do that. So when I got that email, I wrote back to the agency saying, hey, I can do a review because I thought you all might find the product interesting. And I said, this is going to be an editorial review, not an advertisement. So I was not seeking any payment for doing the review other than them having the product sent here so I could look at it. But as we see with a lot of these toxic agencies, everything is a transaction. And therefore, they decided to send over a contract and then list requirements as to what should be in this video. I wrote back to them and said, I don't do contracts. This is an editorial review. Here's my address. And I, of course, did not sign this horrible contract. Now, this company is located in Hong Kong, so their English is not so great on this contract. But still, influencers all over the world are signing this. These are the terms, and I'll talk about some of the more interesting elements here. They are party A, and I am party B. What they're saying here is that they're providing this to me for free, and I have the right to use the product and own the ownership of the product. Here's the transaction. As the consideration for the free use, Party B is obliged to test and evaluate the product and issue the corresponding evaluation contents in his or her social media account on YouTube and any other platform that Party A has approved me to post it on. And the evaluation contents include, but are not limited to, video, picture, text, and other content. And then you can see here they don't actually have the right channel because it looks like they went to Aquatic Apes, another YouTuber, and they signed a contract with them for something else, but they never bothered to change it for me. And then over here we have some of the requirements that she had at the bottom of her email, along with a date by which this needs to get uploaded by. Again, this is a transactional contract. Even though money is not necessarily exchanging hands here, they are expecting something in exchange for sending the product in to review. And that's something I never agreed to because it is transactional and it is not something that is editorial in nature. The next part of the contract gets even better because what they are expecting is to be able to review the video before it gets uploaded. And they want that draft done within 7 days of me receiving the product so that they can approve it. If I upload it without their approval, they say they have the right to ask me to delete it and reissue it so that it could meet whatever requirements they have. In other words, if there was something negative in here, I'm sure they would want that part of the video stripped out. And then it keeps getting better here because the next part deals with intellectual property rights. So they acknowledge that I will own the content when it gets posted, but I'm giving them an irrevocable license to use my content anywhere that they want to, anywhere in the world. So they could re-upload my videos to any platform they please and use that as an advertisement without any compensation. Additionally, they are asking to be held harmless should I have any infringing copyright in the content. So if they get sued for something that was in my video, what they're saying here is that I agree to pay them the losses that they might incur from some copyrighted piece of content that I have put in my video, allegedly. That's another thing I would never agree to there. The last bullet here involves keeping this deal confidential. So if I were to sign this, I could not disclose the contents of this contract and what I agreed to. Also, they did not have the creator agree to do proper disclosures in here. Now, that's not required under the law, but they should be requiring it in the contract to protect their client, which they are not doing. But it gets better. Take a look at the last page of the contract here. This contract is governed by the laws of the People's Republic of China. What's interesting is that even though this company is located in Hong Kong, they added this line: for the avoidance of doubt, the laws of Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan are not included in the applicable laws in this agreement. Additionally, there's a clause here that says if we had a dispute and we couldn't negotiate the end of the dispute, I would have to sue them in China, not here in the United States. Now, yes, I know that Hong Kong is part of China, but they are a special administrative region of China that has slightly different laws, especially related to contracts like this one. So it was interesting that that line was in there. It's possible this company is also located on the mainland and has to abide by mainland laws. Who knows? I'm not a lawyer, but it'd be interesting to know what really was the reason for that line being added in there. Now, for all of the reasons we just talked about, I told them I don't do contracts. This is an editorial review. Like many of these corrupt influencer agencies, they don't know what that means, and they want me to clarify that I would agree to the requirements. And I said, no, there is no agreement to be had here. You send the product and I'll review it. They wrote back, and we finally got to the crux of why they want this contract. It's because they said their merchant does not want any negative things in the video. And that is exactly the problem with influencer marketing today. So I then wrote back to them and told them how disappointed I was that the brand would hire agencies that make unethical requests like this. They wrote back to say that they have to cancel this collaboration because reviewing is also one of the requirements from the brand. Hope you understand. Thanks. And that was the end of that. So once again, this is what goes on behind the scenes, and anyone that's taking money from one of these agencies is agreeing to contracts like this. And this is what needs to change in this industry, because I think consumers are being misled here, especially when there is so much collaboration happening between the brand and the creator before this content gets posted. And it's something that is not only bad for consumers, but it's also bad for creators because of some of the terms that they're agreeing to just by blindly signing these contracts and taking the money. And I think everyone in this business needs to get a lot smarter and a lot more ethical. But I don't need to sign these shady contracts because I have all of you who support the channel. And I want to thank some super chatters here first. Amda Brown made a gold level contribution to the channel. He didn't do it as a super chat though. He did it at the same time I was streaming. I didn't see it until the stream was done, but I want to thank him for his contribution during that stream. I also want to thank Siraj G, Sheldon Angel, and Mark Bollinger for their super chats during one of our regular live streams that we do in the afternoon on weekdays. I also want to thank some new supporters on the channel, including Don Campbell, who became a member via my donor box page, and James Anderson, who signed up via the YouTube membership program. I want to thank everyone who contributed this week and everyone who's been contributing on an ongoing basis, and all of you who watch on a regular basis too, because all of those things equal channel growth. And if you want to support the channel, you can. You can go to Lon.TV/support and make a monthly or a one-time contribution to the channel. We are on Floatplane, Patreon. We use the YouTube membership program. And then we've got my donor box page, which is my preferred vehicle because they take the least amount of fees away from your contribution. And you can find that donor box page at Lon.TV/support. We have some other channels where you can find me, including my Amazon page where you can watch my videos, most of my reviews ad-free. And then, of course, we have my live stream archive at Lon.TV/livestreams. and our Extras channel, where we do unboxings and supplementary content. You can engage with the channel with my very infrequent email list at Lon.TV/email. We also have the Facebook group and the Discord. And we have my store where I sell items that I purchased to review and I'm now getting rid of. And that's something that keeps the engine of the channel going, because I do buy a lot of things to review here. And when I'm done with them, I sell them so I can buy more stuff to review. But we often sell those items at prices lower than new because they were used for the purpose of a review. And if you want to get notified every time something pops up on the store, you can go to Lon.TV/store alert so that you can get an email every time I add something to the store. And that is going to do it for this week's weekly wrap-up. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'm sure we'll see more of these contracts, unfortunately, as time goes on. I'm not baiting these companies at all. These are people that are just sending them to me when I ask to do an editorial review of a product. And I'm going to keep exposing them as they come in. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters Jim Tanis and Tom Albrecht, Hot Sauce and Video Games and Eric's Variety Channel, Brian Parker and Frank Goldman, Amda Brown and Matt Zagaya, and Chris Allegretta. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.